What comes to your mind when you hear about the Nile River? I guess Egypt comes to your mind, like a lot of people. However, Ethiopia is the birthplace of the Nile River. On this note, we are going to be talking about the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam, GERD. This project began in the year 2011. It was crowd-funded by the Ethiopian people, and it cost a whopping sum of $5 billion. $5 billion. So it's Africa's biggest hydroelectrical dam, and it is expected to generate 5,000 megawatts of electricity. However, this project, or let's say this dam, is causing tension between Ethiopia and its neighbors, Egypt and Sudan. So let's talk about Egypt's concerns. 90% of Egyptians depend on the Nile River as a source of livelihood. Egypt fears that Ethiopia damming the river is going to affect the volume of water it gets from the Nile River, and this is going to affect it during drought especially. Sudan too thinks that this is going to affect its own dam called the Rosiris Dam. It believes that if the Ethiopian dam is not well managed, it is going to result to flooding in its own dam. On the other hand, Ethiopia believes that this dam is going to improve its capacity to generate electricity, because 60% of its population live without electricity, and this dam is going to be a game changer. Also, this dam is going to help it to export electricity, and that will boost its economy. It also believes that this dam is going to control flooding. This dam is generating a huge diplomatic standoff between Ethiopia and its neighbors, Egypt and Sudan. Egypt and Sudan believe that a binding agreement should be in place concerning the operation of the Ethiopian dam. However, Ethiopia believes that a non-binding agreement is what is needed. The United States of America attempted to mediate, but it was unsuccessful. So let's talk about the potential consequences. If Ethiopia does not manage the dam well, it can lead to water shortages in Egypt and Sudan. It can also lead to disruption to agricultural production. Also, it can cause regional instability. On the other hand too, if the dam is well managed, it can help to increase electricity generation. It can help to control flooding, and it can also help in regional cooperation, because Ethiopia claims that this is even going to deepen the ties between it and its regional partners. So what next? The situation remains fluid. In fact, there's some people, or let's say analysts have spoken about military intervention in the past, but it seems that is unlikely now. But nobody knows what is going to happen. The dam has been inaugurated on September 9, 2025. Ethiopia invited Egypt and Sudan and other key partners. Unfortunately, Egypt and Sudan abstained from attending the inauguration. However, the Kenyan president witnessed the inauguration of the dam. Where will this lead in the future? Is it going to be beneficial or catastrophic? So all fingers are crossed. So let me hear your thoughts in the comments section. Thank you.